Hello, Internet. Hello, Henry. This is After Campfire. My name is Sam Rubenstein. And Shana Tova. Happy New Year, everyone. We did it. We're here. Survived another year of Judaism. Now we got to make it to the end of this year. And then, bam! It's 2022. Electric Boogaloo. Um, so, last episode of this, Henry argued that you should have a fork, and I think that's stupid. You're not eating it with the knife. You're eating it with the spoon and the knife. I don't. Well, you said weird. I don't like it. It's just you can. It's easier to have a spoon than a fork. Storm's staying with me right now. He's staying with me after camp ended. He's here. He's just not in the video. Storm, you can pick to have either. You have to get rid of one spoon, knife, or fork. What are you getting rid of? What are you getting rid of? Henry said fork. Spoon. You getting rid of spoons? Oh, you're wrong. Okay, I don't. We're not doing this anymore. I said you keep the spoon, you keep the knife, you get rid of the fork. Henry said you get rid of the spoon, you keep the fork, you keep the knife.
Yeah.
Why?
Alright, so if you're eating cereal, you can eat cereal with a fork.
You can't eat cereal with a fork.
Yeah, the milk goes through, right? Then you drink the milk after. Then you're eating soup, you can scoop the stuff in the soup, drink the broth after. Then you're eating noodles, you can't eat noodles with a spoon.
You can't.
It'd be weird. And then if you have to stab something, you can't stab something with a spoon and pick it up.
Yeah, you can. Why you also got a knife? Stab with the knife and the spoon, yeah,
Or you just have a fork and a knife. You eat steak perfectly.
A good steak can eat with a spoon.
Same filet mignon.
My life is filet mignon. I'm mad at you. Go make your noodles. Storm will be back for the next. Storm's gonna be back for the next question. I swear. So, I'm mad about this now even more because you can get rid of a fork and live your life totally okay. And anyone who says otherwise is lying to you. They're trying to sell you spoons and forks and stuff. I don't know. I'm mad. All right. So I asked Henry a question, and Henry did not understand the question. So I'm going to rephrase the question. Okay? You're able to go back in time and change something that's not direct. So, like, for example, I can't go back in time and tell myself that I should focus more on art. Or I can't go back in time and tell myself to do something. I can't directly impact my life or like the lives of people around me. But like I can, for example, go back in time and like move something so that it's different. And that is the change that I'm looking for. So like, for example, if I were to go back in time and make a change to my life without me ever being aware of it, I think one of the biggest ones that I would have done is I probably would have like been a nurse. Like I would have taken part of like a nurse's assistant and been like, hey, what about this kid's hips? Like when I was very little, all the doctors and nurses were like, it's his knees, it's his ankles. Turned out I had hip dysplasia the entire time, and no one ever noticed. And I don't think, like, again, I can't interact with myself or my mom or like my people, but I can be like, hey doc, have we taken an X-ray of this kid's hips? And I encourage them to do that because I'm not directly telling myself, but like I would have had my surgery when I was a little boy and been able to, live a very different life, which I think is just wild because it doesn't seem like that big of a change. But who knows? Maybe I would have been like a track star or something. You can't prove it otherwise. So I think that's one. Or another one, which I definitely would have done if I could have gone back in time and like made a slight difference. I think I would have probably like gone back and sped up some of the ADHD research, so I would have gotten like some help in high school or something like that. That's what I meant by the question. Like I'm not impacting me. I'm impacting the world around me to benefit me. Um, I think that's my answer to to that question. Storm, what do you think? You can go back in time. You can't directly interact with you or your like family, but you can interact with like the world around you. What would you have done that would change your life?
Probably would have set something up that made me not hang out with the people I did when I was so young. So in that way, I could have focused on school, and maybe if there was a way I could convince myself when I was younger to focus on school more.
The rule is you can't talk to yourself. That's the only thing.
Like I don't know how I would set it up, but probably try to have someone talk to me to convince me I could do that.
Yeah, probably.
Talk to me to convince me, like school is very important. I should really focus on it. Because if I did focus on school, I could have been like D1 for football.
That would have been actually really cool. Also, you'd be like famous football player.
I'd probably be skinny instead of fat.
That's why I'm saying about the hips. I don't know if you heard my answer.
Our lives would be different.
So different. If a doctor just said, "Hey, let's X-ray this kid's hips," very different. We're going to the gym tomorrow, you know.
Are we blogging or something?
No, we're going to. No, we're just saying it now so that I remember.
Yeah.
Going to the gym tomorrow. Actually,
I'm going to the gym tomorrow. Woo-hoo!
All right. My next question, the question Henry asked me is, so if I just suddenly had a spare room in my apartment or like a house or something, I just suddenly had an extra room, what would I do with it? My ideal room. Um, and the answer is really obvious. I would take it and I would turn it into a library slash office slash music room. So it'd have like big old bookshelves everywhere, filled with books and records and CDs and cassette tapes and all sorts of cool, groovy things. And I would have surround sound music, and my desk is in there. And then I would have it connected to this huge sound system, and that would be it. It would just be like one of those like classic libraries that you see in like movies that rich people have. But it would be for me. And I know what you're wondering, Sam. Storm is literally living with you right now. Why not have a guest room? That's not what the question is. It's not what the question is. The question is, what would your ideal use of the room be? And my ideal room does not involve other people. It involves me. And what I want is my own library, office, writing, music room thing. So that's my answer. Storm, what do you think? You can have, like, let's say you have your own space, okay? And you have you can have like an additional room that could be used for anything. What are you using that room for?
A guest room slash in the closet I have all the other stuff. I have a studio and a game setup, like a big walk-in closet. You know what I'm
So
saying?
you're thinking like a guest room, but in that guest room you would have a whole giant closet that has like all the stuff in it.
Yeah.
So you're breaking the rules by having essentially two rooms.
All right. No guest room, a studio, somewhere I could make music, and like a chill spot just for like when people come over. But there would be a bed in there, so conveniently someone could sleep in there if they had to.
My room does not have a bed.
But there's like a fancy couch or
It's
something.
got like a nice couch.
Little wine shelf,
Yeah, books everywhere. Yeah,
That's a
no.
horrible angle, man. I look so fat.
There we
Here we
go.
go. We skinny boys.
Um,
You show my best.
so we're gonna end with the question that I have for Henry. Henry, it is that time of year when we need to start thinking about the most important thing. That's right, Halloween. Henry, what is your 2021 Halloween uh, costume predictions? What do you think is gonna be the most popular costume of 2021? What are people going as this year for Halloween? Is it gonna be a potato? Is it gonna be Steve from Blue's Clues? Is it gonna be sexy COVID? Is it gonna be Governor Abbott of Texas hung by his ankles? I don't know. You tell me what you think it is. Henry, tell me, what is this year's hot Halloween costume?